Welcome everybody to the Patty G Show. I am your host Patty G here with Zoe and Troy of Cajun Nation Seasoning Company. We're going to talk some spice. We're going to talk some Southern living. We're going to talk branding. We might even dabble with the psychology behind marketing and the colors and how your eyes perceive a product versus another product. It's going to be very interesting. Very excited for this. We are outside of the Baton Rouge Circle. We're in the greater Baton Rouge. We're in the Lafayette area. We're in the Acadian side of Louisiana. So I'm glad I was able to make the trip out. We're remote on studio, on scene with Cajun Nation. Troy and Zoe, thank you all so very much, and welcome to the Patty G Show.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity to be seen out here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long ago. I mean, I ran across your page on LinkedIn, and I
Okay.
found it very interesting. I said, "Man, look at this! This guy, he's featuring, showcasing entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs, and I think that's what we need." And we appreciate you driving out here to Lafayette.
Hey, it's well worth the drive. I drove to Monroe a couple of weeks ago, so I'll take a drive to Lafayette any day of the week. But yeah, that's it. It's local entrepreneurs sharing local stories. And Troy and I were talking beforehand on how I came across y'all. And I told him I think it was via Instagram, or it might have been, I think it was via Instagram, that you had a post about a triathlon jersey.
Yes.
And it said Cajun Nation going racing.
Yes.
And then I commented on the post and said, what about podcasting?
Yes.
So then that's when I got in
That's
touch,
it.
and then we messaged each other and we connected. I'm like, okay, yes, I checked y'all out, went a full deep dive on your page. I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are awesome. They're everywhere. They're posting like 100 times a day. You're meeting Gary Vaynerchuk's 100 pieces of content a day quota without the shadow of a doubt. So it's awesome. But how... We were talking beforehand, y'all both doing something full-time. So this is, y'all are building it to be something full-time,
Yes.
right? Where, when, how do we get started here? What's our journey till now?
Want me to go with it or what?
You go first,
All right.
I'll pick up.
Well, make this part short. It's myself. We got a brother in between, Alonzo, and we got Troy. We always were very close, right? So fast forward, everything we did, we thought it out and that type of thing. And one day when I was working in Baton Rouge, I was coming home and I thought about fashion.
Okay.
All right. And
We're a seasoning company. We're starting with
yes,
fashion.
but that's how it started.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I called Troy. I said, "Man, I'm thinking about a brand, and the way we bounce off each other. He's checking out. When he gets quiet, I know he's thinking. So that 45-minute drive from Baton Rouge to Lafayette, it gets quiet, and we go ahead and we start this brand. We go into another brand. And we just keep doing this. This started in 2004, before Katrina, because Troy was living in New Orleans. And we just kept doing what we were doing. And fast forward to 2011, right? 2011. My wife walks in one day and say, "Hey," she know how we are though. She gets she's like, "How about doing some t-shirts, Cajun Nation?" I don't know where she got it from. So, of course, what I do, I call him. He doesn't say anything. And he calls me back, "Man, let's trademark it." And we trademark, and we want to do some apparel. We started doing that. And again, there's a big gap. We fast forward again to 2020.
Okay. So
2011.
What was happening in between 2011 and 2020?
We had
from 2004 to 2011.
we had hood prep clothing.
What were y'all doing? Okay.
Hood prep clothing. It was where we went from the hood / prepping.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm 51 years old and I'm still wearing Tretons. I wore these in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got on some Ralph Lauren jeans cut up. But it was one of the things that we were always known about fashion. We were known as being fashion trend leaders in school. Yes.
So the three brothers
Yes.
were fashion
Bennington,
setters.
Bennington, all that type of stuff.
I love it.
And so the hood prep came from that, and then we started doing. We went to what was the Magic Show in Vegas. We had a designer from New York, Justice Hall. Peace to you, my brother. TTK. We did a fashion release. The year after Katrina, they had the NBA All-Star game in New Orleans.
Okay.
We did a fashion release out there. We had a real good response. We had the Dream Collection, and we just kept doing it. And fashion is a hard business.
It's constantly evolving. I
Yes.
mean, you're looking at right now. People aren't. They've already got their fall lines out. You
Yes.
know, right now
and we learned that.
Yeah. They're looking right now at swimsuits.
Yes. And what happened? We just kept. Anytime we would come up with a brand. Remember New Orleans?
Revelers.
The basketball team for the New Orleans.
The Pelicans.
Before the Pelicans, the Hornets.
Yes.
They wanted they were wanting to change the name. They ended up going to Pelicans. So we came up with New Orleans Revelers. Did a whole uniform design and everything. I mean, nice.
Yeah.
And then going with the Pelicans. So we were always we trademarked that. We trademarked Huckabucks. We're doing all this, and we end up getting Friday and Southern Bow. And like we were telling you earlier, man, we got this to the point where we were talking to CEOs of publicly traded companies. I'm not going to say no names. And we were at I remember we took off from work. Remember that day?
Yes.
For that, we had a conference call with the CEO of a $1 billion company and their brand strategist. And they said, we're going to help y'all. We told them our story about growing up on a plantation early in our life, which we did. And he said, man, he's 2 years older than me, the CEO of that company. And he's like, man, I never thought I would talk to somebody that grew up on a plantation. So, you're not from Southern Louisiana. And
You from somewhere north of Mississippi.
and but he was willing to help us. But when he took it to the board, which he was the chair of that board, we didn't have any revenue. Even though they loved the brand, they weren't willing to take a chance.
And that's what we were talking about earlier,
Yes.
how the big players, you got to have those certain numbers, those
That's
certain
it.
metrics, those thresholds before you can even get to the first step. Not even to the door, to the first step.
step.
Because
And
then you
that's
got a chain of events that has to occur to get to the door, and then you still
Yes.
got to knock.
Well, I
and give a
remember
pitch.
when Dillard's, because Hood Prep was a great line. You know, if we had the technology today, it would have exploded.
Yes.
Southern Bow would have exploded.
Right, because we're talking 2004 to 2011.
Yes.
Or is this the 11 to 20?
It's between that
In
time. yeah.
between.
Either way, the technology, I mean,
It just wasn't.
in 3 years, technology far surpasses
Yes.
what it was.
Because, you know, you had so many middle people, you know, that you had to open up too many doors. In social media today, you bypass a lot of that. And I remember when in Dillard's, I was talking to a guy that he was a manager of Dillard's, and it was like, they were like, man, you know, we'll never put Rockaware, Echo, blah 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 in here. And then about 3 years later, I saw him moving Tommy out. I said, man, y'all got a lot of open space. Oh no, man, we about to get Sean Jones in here. We're about to get Echo and Rockaware. I said, well, I thought y'all wasn't gonna get those, you know,
It's all about
because they wasn't thinkers. And then from there, the game changed again. The little guys on the BMX and the skateboards changed the game, because what they started doing was getting these little sneaker stores and told Dillard's and all the rest, we're not going to be redlining. We're not going to take if you don't sell it, you got to buy it back and all that type of stuff. A lot of paperwork, a lot of headaches. We're going to open up this little store.
yeah, it would be sneaker shops.
One of
and
the most
skate
popular
shops.
ones right here in Lafayette.
Right here in Lafayette.
And
Politics.
I
yes,
remember when
yes.
politics.
They had a place in Baton Rouge called Ruckus. It was a
Yes, I
skate.
remember
It was
Ruckus.
this indoor skate park, and it was a you could sell merchandise.
It was right
in the
down the
front.
street, Ruckus.
Yep.
Ruckus right down the street.
Yeah.
I remember
Congress.
when Derek first started.
Yep. But
Yeah.
that was some of the things. I mean, we were even talking to some of the guys that's really into, especially those into the urban fashion. I mean, we were
I'm
talking
the guy from Traffic in New Orleans.
Traffic. His name is Lloyd.
Yeah, Lord.
Now he's
good people.
And at the same time, that's what we did the Dream Collection release during after Katrina, and now Lloyd is a PR for Rockefeller Records.
Okay.
So when you Google Lloyd and Rockefeller Records, you gonna see him next to Jay-Z. I mean, it ain't like me and you sitting together.
Right. Now
He's had different events with Jay-Z, with the suits. I mean, the whole thing. So it's constantly evolving.
It's evolving. So y'all were doing the clothing line, getting the different brands started.
Met a lot of people, and just kept developing.
Right. As you have to.
And we kept developing, and I was working on Sanitude and Hood Prep when you came to me with this idea.
Yep, and I was working on Southern Cowboy and Wicked Preppy.
So y'all working on 3 different brands.
No, but we were kind of like, we had got in our own space.
Okay.
We had got into our own space, and
we just started creating, and since 2004 until now, from meeting all sort of people in different phases of industries, a lot of travel, a lot of events. That's my PhD in branding and marketing. Okay, since 2004 to now, I got 16 years of marketing in the street, growing with each culture every year. Because when I look back on it, that's why I got all the education of branding and marketing that's benefiting us today. Because we can turn on a dime. I can turn something on a dime.
And I believe it or not, I've kind of like.
Let's pump the brakes just a hair.
On the creative side, like with branding, I mean, stuff just constantly coming through. And with the focus on this is the way I look at it. When we got the Cajun Nation,
he called me again.
I called him and I said, well, look, and we was talking, and it was like, again, my wife came. She had some health issues, and she came one day. She said, hey, we need some. I need something that's low sodium. I didn't care. I got hypertension. I take medication every day. Look at us. It's
Louisiana. It's the South. We love our salt. We love our spicy foods. It's part of our culture.
Our stepfather, we grew up 5 miles from Morton Salt, the little blue box.
Yep.
Our stepfather worked there for 25 years.
So we had every.
You had access to salt for days.
Yeah, so
all day.
So she came. She said, "I need something like." Okay. So I called. My wheels get to turning, and I remember hearing about MSG. I remember hearing that it wasn't good for you. I hadn't done the research. So I called Troy. I said, look, how about doing a seasoning, working on the seasoning that's low sodium, no MSG, but we still want good flavor. Mm-hmm. Again, he don't say nothing, but I already know.
He's thinking.
Yeah.
I know already. He's thinking.
Yeah. So, and me, sometimes I go a little bit overboard. I said, let's do something with no salt. Oh! I couldn't take it.
Yeah, no salt.
I couldn't take it.
It's a bold move.
Yeah. So we ended up doing we kept going back with the packaging company, just working on these different blends, and boom, we got one. And like my grandmother used to say, and my grandma's a little Creole lady, maybe CQ. We just want a little taste of salt. That was a taste, not salty. I just need a taste of salt. That's it. And we took that philosophy and we just put it together. Next thing you know, he started working on that right there, that logo, that design. And from that point, we just
he
just ran with it.
Because I don't cook, he cooks.
Yeah.
I eat plain food, he eats seasoned food.
Yeah.
Okay.
I work on creativity. He puts the bolts and nuts together.
Yeah.
So he working on the seasoning because I don't eat any condiments, so I don't have that taste. I don't eat ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise. I don't eat none of that, so I don't have that taste. And so he's working on the blend, and that's when I start working on the design. Mm-hmm. And we talk all day, every day.
Yeah.
So we on the phone talking about the design.
Can't say this. Even at I ain't gonna say that. Even at work.
In your breaks,
On my
right? In your breaks.
My breaks. And I have passion about this because for the last several years, I work every day to finance
Yeah.
this effort. When I say I work every day,
7 days a week.
7 days a week. Monday through Friday. I've been a registered nurse 25 plus years. And I specialize in psych. They call me the psych man. So Monday through Friday, I work at a clinic here. And then on the weekend, I drive to Laplace Saturday morning. And I work 212s. Saturday night, I drive back. And I repeat that cycle. And in the evening, I make sure all the shipping get out.
Yeah. But before you go to shipping, I did what? I'm a logistics manager in a chemical plant, but I did 10 years with FedEx, manager and all that good stuff.
So, so he's in charge of the shipping, even though you've got the background and the knowledge.
Yeah. but he has the. I ain't gonna say I'm lazy.
I'm the
He gonna finish it. I ain't gonna lie. He gonna finish it.
He's gonna say you're lazy.
Yeah, he gonna take care of it.
I'm the tinkler, you know.
Right.
You know, in the business they call me the loner, because I'll sit in there and I'll do the minute things nobody wants to do. I take care of all the business side, you know, the taxes, the licensures,
Bank account, all that.
The paperwork, the tedious paperwork.
I make sure.
Trust me, my day job's accounting. I feel that.
I make sure to, you know, deal with the individuals that make the apparel, from the stitching to the ordering to the development. Just like you saw the triathlon, because we about to sponsor the triathlon in Houston and the World Championship or something.
They're going to Hawaii, yeah.
National, world, whatever.
So you're sponsoring a triathlon team?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I used to do triathlons.
Oh.
So it hit me.
When
I saw it, I'm like,
and then we also.
I used to do triathlon. I want to get back into them, but
And then we also sponsor the United States badminton team.
the badminton team. Okay,
Yeah, Doc.
that is.
So the United States badminton team, I designed.
So
it.
why the badminton team?
Well, a friend of mine, he's on the team.
That's
Oh,
And
okay.
he was on the team.
Okay,
But he's been with us since day one.
I got you.
And
So you got a personal connection there, because
But
to
you
me,
be-
I'm like the badminton's not the sport I'm gonna think
Hey,
of.
look, you wouldn't even think, man. That's a
but
sport, man.
you you wouldn't even be you would be surprised, like with the triathlon.
Mm-hmm.
The designing is not there. The apparel that we just did, these guys was like, man, we never saw nothing like that. That was the same thing for badminton.
And plus, we doing this now. Some fishing.
Oh yeah, professional
Some fishing
bassmen.
apparel.
Yes.
So I used to have a lifestyle brand called Off the Pier
Oh,
that I used to sell long sleeve
Come on.
fishing shirts. I had a shrimp boat on the back of one. I had a red snapper boat on the back of one.
yes, yes.
And I had a fly fishing for redfish. So I had 3 designs. I'd make wood in Louisiana's. So
So you know what's happening.
I know what's happening.
So when we start off with the can, and it's more of a process than people think, because Zoe and I was going back and forth, if Azo.
Yeah.
So the can, how did you get there?
Well, the can, before I do anything, I will research. I don't read. I look for information.
Gotcha.
I don't look for instructions. You don't read. If I want some instructions, I can do it myself. I look for information, and then I instruct myself. So I start studying the famous brands. I looked at Coca-Cola, Campbell Soup, Dr. Pepper, those type of cane. And I asked myself, what made the cane iconic? And I did a lot of reading on colors. And then I came back with Zoe, and we discussed it. and I was telling him, I'm gonna make the next Coca-Cola can. And Zoe and I was talking, and it was going back and forth on the design. And we wanted to be very simple, and then we agreed, huh?
Yep. And that's how we ended up with the red can.
Yeah, with the red can.
Simplicity.
I just wanted to keep it simple, but in the designing, I was always thinking apparel.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking about the brand, not the cane.
Right.
After I made the cane, I was thinking about, okay, we had did so much apparel and fashion. I was like, because Cajun Nation is a lifestyle. Cajun Nation, Louisiana, on the Cajun coast.
It is a lifestyle, and the fact that the name was available surprises me.
Yep.
And the fact that you captured it, just the name itself, is ingenious.
Well, what it
Registered
is,
trademark.
Right, and Cajun Nation, you think of Cajun Nation. I mean, it's anybody and everybody, their mother from Louisiana would want to create a brand called Cajun Nation. So
Well,
the fact that you were able to see that and capture it and then trademark it is huge.
well, you'd be very surprised several years back.
There's a bunch that don't do that.
Several years back, and that's the first thing that I do. Is I protect it. Before I draw something, touch something, you can believe me, if I come out with it, I have protected it on every angle.
Just like Cajun Heat and the other can not up there yet, but it's gonna be up there soon.
Cajun Coast.
Cajun Coast.
And I make sure
Oh, yeah.
that
It's
they're all
protected.
registered
I love
before we move forward.
I love it.
Yep.
And back then, you'd be surprised that a lot of people, even today, use names without checking the legalities of the name.
And when people come ask me about doing a company, or, starting a company or something, I say, hey man, or whoever, I say before you start, man, I got to make sure it's available and protected, because you're gonna be wasting your time.
Yeah.
Because people have.
Well, with Southern Bow,
Yeah.
had a young lady. I ain't gonna say the company's name. She graduated in fashion. South Carolina, whatever
I shut it
university,
down.
had a whole bow tie company.
Called Southern Bow.
Oh,
Southern
I
Bow.
shut it down.
And I mean, it's like, hey, you majored in fashion for 4 years, and that should be a course that is required.
Yeah. You should be required to learn either copyright or trademark research to determine if your
And
brand is available.
She
or not.
had to change her name.
But you'd
I
be
felt bad.
But you'd be surprised that a lot
That's
of people.
business.
It's business. A lot of people
Yep.
was not trademarking. But I learned that game very early. And I was very patient in waiting on the legalities to clear
Yeah, we've been fighting for
before I make one shirt, one cup. I got that piece of paper from United States Trademark Office.
a while. Yep.
And it's so powerful, like Cajun Nation on Amazon.
But that was
Amazon, Lord.
man, to put something on Amazon.
Ooh.
I've gone down that route.
No.
I've looked into the Amazon with
this is what
But it's
AWS.
good though.
But this is what about Amazon?
It's good if you can be patient.
Yes.
It's good
But what
if you're.
I gave up.
It's good if you're protected. It's good
Give up.
if you've got the product imagery, the product description, if you've gone and done all the hard work up front, which you should to build a website,
Yeah.
your own website, you should do all that. If you've gone and done all the hard work up front, going to Amazon should be a no-brainer.
Yes.
Because I've been talking to a lot of people lately about going where the people already are.
Yes.
Why am I going to spend all my time developing a big old website, paying to advertise said website, to push people to traffic to that website, when I can go to Amazon that I can guarantee, but I can promise you, every person on the planet has probably heard of Amazon.
It's so
Yes.
tedious.
Like,
Well, I gave up because see, I'm like this. I get a thought. I can go search the trademark. It ain't ready. I know IC whatever. I'm gonna apply for it. In use, not use, currently in use or whatever. I can fly through that process unless I run into a roadblock. So things like that, I can. Man, I kept telling Troy, I said, man, this thing on Amazon, bro. So I can't figure it out. I was like, and I was telling my wife the same thing. Because usually I can conquer something. If I'll tell them, like this morning, we need a UPC code, right? Say, boom. And we figured out, we do our own UPC codes and everything, you know.
We pitch and catch. Like when he got the Amazon, he said, I just picked it up. And
I said, man, I ain't messing with that no more.
So I picked it
well,
up.
that's when you go to the tinker.
Yeah,
Troy likes to
that's when I
tinker.
mess with
It's Troy.
I came back and I fixed it. I got a website, a web store, because we were battling over the brand. But this is what the point I was getting at is, since we own the rights of Cajun Nation, they're on Amazon, you can't use that.
Yeah. And there's such a variety of products
They can't use Cajun
that
Nation.
can be used under Cajun Nation,
Yes.
and the fact that it's protected now, because everybody wants to go through Amazon Web Service, AWS. That's
Yes.
when you look at, for the lack of a better term, get rich quick schemes. It's get a product, drop ship it to Amazon, and then go on your way.
Yes.
So everybody's trying to get on Amazon, Amazon loves it. They're eating it up because they're making their money regardless. As if you sell your goods, Amazon's making their money. You can send it to do AFS, Amazon Fulfillment Services, and you're shipping all your stuff over there, and you're still paying some.
Yeah, they got so many different fees.
They're making their monies going and coming. They could care less if you sell 100 products or 1,000,000 products, because guess what? They got 1,000,000 people
They gonna
lining
kill
up
you.
to get through the doors.
They make, to me, by doing Amazon, they make the profit off the fees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Well, and that's revenue channel 1.
because when I got on Amazon,
And then you've got it's
all the coding, just to put a comma, just to put a break, you got to find out a code.
Well, you got to go on YouTube, man. Look, I got so frustrated, but I can tell you one thing, and I think this plays, not to get away, just in a nutshell, everything that we have done, and when we put this together, we didn't. I can't even tell you who we sold the first can to. I don't remember, but anyway, it was our community, man.
Hold on, before we get to that.
Uh-huh.
Before we get to that, everybody see my brother and myself with Cajun Nation. But we got a team. We got 3 horsemen in the back of us that is part of the company. My brother and I, that people don't see. Our graphic man, website guy. I mean, I monitor the website, and I would call him the #1 man in the land. He been with me since 2004.
so since day one.
So day one, he can do 3D, 2D, 1D.
And if he don't know it,
He gonna,
YouTube, right?
he gonna find it.
he is the marketing man and branding man with myself, and like the suits you did, the labeling. He puts all that together, and if we got legal issues, trademark issues, we got a major player. He takes care of all that, and trust me, you don't want to deal with him. And
LSU, Tulane, MIT, Harvard,
Tusk.
What's that one? Tusk.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Day one too.
They won. And so us 4 has been solid for 15 years.
Yep.
Working on all the creation.
And the dream.
In the dream, we all pitch and catch. It's mind-boggling how much stuff we have done. And lately, the 5th player that we picked up, he's working on his PhD. We knew him in childhood, and he called us and what he told you, Zoe?
He was like, man, I can help y'all in Texas. He calls me Fonzo. That's one. And he's like, man, I can help y'all in Texas. And it was like, man, I want to be. What gained the respect from him was that he said, man, I want to be an investor. We're not ready for any investor, not yet. He said, you know what? I'm going to help y'all anyway.
Because he had never seen this type of marketing.
In all the case studies, he says, man, I've never seen this type of marketing. And to this day, I mean, he is helping us in the Katy area, Houston, and he has gotten us Brookshire's. We're in one store right now in Katy. Brookshire's has 125, 130 stores. But like I always preach, and he always says that controlled growth.
Yes.
I do not, and this is me, I'm just me speaking.
Because we're growing very fast.
I do not want to go out there and you can't deliver. I deal with that every day at work.
Yeah.
I'm the what's up?
The gatekeeper. I mean, you know, we you know, it's like we.
You don't want to be a blow up. You don't want to have an earthquake happen overnight and you're not prepared for it.
No.
Because when you have the controlled growth and when you have the sustainability that's constant, you can plan for it.
Yes.
You can order your product, have it shipped to where you need to have it shipped.
Yes.
Your logistics are easier to manage.
I know.
But when you come in and overnight you get an order for 200,000 cans,
Yeah.
while initially you're super excited about it, it's instant panic and freak out. How in the heck am I going to get 200,000 cans shipped to these people who expect to have it by this afternoon? Like, how can I have that done?
It's not going to happen.
Right. It's and at a low scale, going back to the smaller game, at a low scale, it can't. I mean,
that's where-
what's the production? Can we get into the production side of things
Yeah.
for Cajun Nation? Are y'all doing it in house? Y'all got a company?
What's
it look like?
Third party contractors.
Okay.
And they are working with us real good. And we've gone out and found different resources, and we continue to look for different resources.
We get production on time, and we can produce and deliver on time because we're very patient.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And you know, you're not going to tell me what to do.
Yep.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do.
Yep.
You may want 10,000, but I can give you 1,000 right now.
You got to be. I mean, you know, like I said,
You
deal with it every day at work. You know,
Yeah, you got to control your brain.
Yeah.
You know, don't get excited.
Yeah.
And yeah, they can come to us and say, hey, we want to give y'all 125 stores. No.
Well, I mean, just for example, we got a vendor. I mean, well, a customer. You know, they're saying they need 500 bottles of this, right? I emailed them. Let them email them twice. Hey, I need to know this by this date. If you don't give me by that date, because I gotta go to the vendor, make sure they got the bottles, make sure we got the labels. We got to make sure we have everything in line.
Make sure the ingredients and everything's in line.
And
because all that,
or if they come after that date,
you can't get it to them by their expected
because
date.
all the sauces are handmade, Louisiana peppers.
Yes,
so they're handmade. So we know our product. We know production time.
Yeah.
I know how long it takes to get the labels in. Where from where we get. How long it takes them to produce it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you, he translates it to you. This the date we need it. I can't help you.
Yeah, and that's your big stores, your big chains. They have a harder time understanding that.
Yeah, well, you know what?
They expect when they say, all right, we need 1,000 bottles to go 100 different stores, and we're gonna put 10 bottles in 100 stores, see how it goes.
But you gotta give me leeway.
And you're gonna say, well, hang on now, all right, you wanted that by tomorrow, I can't do it by tomorrow. You're not working with somebody with a mass scale production that can put it out overnight. No. We're both working 7 days a week to fund this thing.
Yes.
Like, come on now, give me some leeway.
Well, you know what? The two of the companies we're working with right now. One has over 300 stores.
Mm-hmm.
The other one has 60 stores. He's looking almost at 400 stores. And the buyers, I don't know what happens after them, but the buyers are more receptive as to where we're coming from. I don't know because of what's going on and all that.
People love a story.
Yes.
They love to know the brand. They love to know the two brothers, the three brothers, the crew of five behind the brand.
The brand came, and recently I put a mini story out. My brother, my brothers and I, we grew up in Glencoe, Louisiana, which is 8 miles from Sipamo.
Yeah, about.
So we grew up in Cajun Nation, Louisiana, which is 22 parishes. Cajun Nation is really 22 parishes. It's really Acadiana. It's 22 parishes. And we grew up in St. Mary Parish. We grew up along the Cajun coast. We was fishing, hunting, running in the sugarcane field, crawfishing in the ditch.
No shoes.
No shoes.
I mean, just live.
Picking pecans to make money.
Yeah.
I've
So when
done,
people
I've done
say-
all that in Iberville Parish.
So when people, we come from that, and that what built us. When we walked out the door, we had, friends, cousins to play with. We played in the ditch. I mean, we grew up country boys.
And it's
Okay.
still country.
It's still country. And like you say, we grew up on malt and salt. I saw my daddy bring all these seasonings to the house.
Yeah. Salt blocks for the cow.
Cow.
The lick on, And it was and just to this day, I put a picture one day on Instagram. And if he's watching, one of my childhood friends, Douglas Orlando, he's from Louisa, which is down the street from down the road from us. And Douglas is a commercial fisherman. I mean, sweet evangel black drum. I mean, he's like the largest black drum commercial fisherman in the state.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
he's
black drum's used a lot in restaurants.
yes, he's the man. I would, if I had to guess, 80% of it's coming from him
Wow.
because he buys it. And
Oh, so he buys it from the fisherman and then
he fishes also, but he buys it because he has the avenue.
Okay.
And we all went to this little small community elementary school, Glencoe Elementary, and it's just amazing how Douglas. I mean, I'm just using that not to get off thing. First grade, and I put a picture on Instagram, on Facebook and Instagram, where Douglas and I were like this tall, kneeling next to each other, and then when we got the seasoning, I called and said, "Man, I'm coming down there." I said, "Man, come on." He had some garfish because things had slowed up, and he said, "Man, come on, I got some garfish or some shrimp for you or whatever."
My grandfather makes some good garfish balls and a
Yep.
gravy.
Yeah, I remember.
You know about that.
Yes, I love me some
And
garfish.
look, this guy here, hey man, garfish. Matter of fact, he just put it on Facebook the other day, and it was like that. At that age, we were that tall, but now he's, I don't know how to talk. Douglas might be about 6'5". And everybody said, what happened? What Douglas was eating?
He's eating black drum.
But it's just that we still connected.
Right.
Yes.
We still connected.
And,
It's an amazing feeling,
and we grew the lifestyle. We grew up in it, and we lived it, and we learned it.
On a plantation.
And the reason why I stopped eating, would eat condiments and different things of that nature, because I came up with hypertension. So I cut a lot of stuff out of my diet. I cut a lot of stuff out of my diet to eat right.
Right.
So that's why we eat plain food, because a lot of people wonder why I eat plain food, and that's why. And the seasoning now allows me, because I didn't know anything about seasoning until he brought it to me, it allows me to start eating seasoned food again.
Flavorful, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, flavorful food, absolutely.
So the whole brain is encompassed in our lifestyle, and the community where we're from, everybody knows everybody. Everybody's tight knit, and from Glencoe to Four Corners to Baldwin to
Franklin, Centerville,
Sorrel, Jeanerette, New Iberia, Olivier.
I got a guy coming from New Iberia on Wednesday.
All right.
Cane Lamb Pecan Company.
Yeah, right down Main Street.
Yep. I'll be back in Lafayette on Wednesday.
So, it's a big plus because the community got behind us,
Yes.
and Franklin just elevated us to another level.
Right. And that
Franklin, Baldwin.
having the community support local entrepreneurs, support their local businesses, is a whole nother podcast in and of itself.
Yes.
You know, what can people do in their community to help the entrepreneurs get up and go? How can they show their support? How can they show that they want them to succeed? You know, because a lot of times the first thing that happens when people get brands off the ground and you're their friends, hey, can you give me some of that? Hey, can you give me some of that? For me, I'm like, hey, I want to go there. I want to pay for it. I want to support you and do what I can to get your brand off the ground, because it's those small businesses in the community, in the state of Louisiana, in the country, they're the backbone of what the economy thrives on, because they have so many jobs collectively.
Yes.
They are what we define as the American dream.
Yes.
Spending so many years doing all this shows the resiliency in y'all as entrepreneurs, and shows the entrepreneurial spirit and how strong it is, and the fact that your first idea may not be the breadwinner.
No.
My first idea was a paracord company. I made paracord bracelets, a paracord dog collars, you name it. Then it shifted into seafood wholesaling. Then it shifted into an apparel line, and now I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's you start on this journey of entrepreneurial.
You're gonna go through,
and you're gonna go through so many different things.
so many different.
There's so many different avenues, and you're not doing it for the money.
No.
You're doing it because you're passionate about. I can just listen to y'all talk, and the passion behind what y'all do is so strong. It gives me so much hope, and I hope that people listening and watching, it instills a hope and a fire in them.
Our bond started on the plantation, sitting under the tree. So tell them what we used to do.
I'm gonna tell you like this, and some people gonna trip out off it. My first job.
Oh, Antoine.
My first job.
Oh, Antoine.
I worked on a garbage truck at 10 years old. A lot of people don't know that. If y'all listening, y'all know that.
I couldn't get on the truck.
He was too young.
It's too young.
And what we would do, we would go around and pick up garbage with this older guy. And it was like, he didn't have waste management. We'd ride through these nice neighborhoods and go take the garbage cans and throw them in the truck and move on. But, you know, if you know anything about garbage, you'd look and be like, man, got something good in there. I would bring these magazines home, like the home, you don't want the food in it.
Better
we would watch?
I don't know what the magazine
They were doing the food, and I'd bring those magazines home, but we get home at night in the bed.
Oh, under the chair.
Under the tree, and man, boy, that looked good, man. But we didn't know what kind of food it was. But it was just the working, just starting and just dreaming. And just to give you how things move, Saturday we did an event with a young lady that's Angela, Main Street barber and color shop at the studio in Broussard, Louisiana. She was our neighbor.
She grew up next to us.
Wow.
Yes. And she invited us to come out that Saturday and showcase our brand on Main Street in Broussard. You know, I mean, this is 40 years ago. And then I left there because Troy was at work. Like he said, he worked 7 days a week. I said, Troy, I'm headed to Franklin because we got some friends we went to high school with. They just started a food truck. They living in Pearland, but they were doing something in Franklin, really in St. Joseph, which is a little African-American community, basically, right outside of Franklin. I said, I'm heading there. Gave them a case of seasoning. I bought a plate of food from them. Just showing this appreciation and support for each other because they have supported us.
Right.
Then, what's today, Saturday, Monday? Yesterday, we both veterans from Desert Storm. Troy at work yesterday.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Myself, his wife, and my little niece, we went and gave out flags and supported the veterans. Now today we sitting here, so it's like, man, nobody.
It never stops.
They can't tell me nothing.
and with the because of where we from and how we grew up, and our mission is, for me, it's the hypertension. The majority they got behind us was the black community. Okay, and they just elevated us to another level.
And a lot had to do with that tag low sodium, no MSG, great flavor, and that just took it to another level. I mean,
because in the community that was the big thing for him.
Right.
And
But we all love to eat.
yes,
but we grew up as a village, so when we came out with the red cane, the village backed us.
oh yeah, and they still, I mean, they're so supportive. I mean,
And so a lot of
It's
people say,
unreal.
well, what happened? The village backed. I mean, we had guys who went to high school, college with, calling us, Facebooking.
I mean, all over the country.
Hitting us on Facebook.
That's
Now, what
incredible.
started it was our little cousin Rodney was cooking some hog crackers across the track, going to Freetown. Freetown Glencoe was really 4 plantations
Okay.
back in the day. They had 2 or 3 sugar mills. And after slavery, they moved to a corner of the peninsula, which they named Freetown.
Yeah.
And Rodney said, "Cuz I went and got them cans," and he was cooking fresh hog crackers.
That's a pretty picture too, man.
And he put it out there, and then he shook it, because hog crackers very expensive. Now, you're not going to waste your seasoning
Right.
on fresh crackling.
No,
And Rodney sprinkled it on there.
I love hog
And so
crackers.
everybody started putting dishes on our personal page.
Yes. And everybody think that's us cooking. I cook sometimes, but it's not us.
Right.
Thank y'all.
The only thing I cooked on that was egg one night.
I mean, we get everything. I mean,
But what it did was with the algorithm, because we had Cajun Nation pages. We had 10,000 something on this one,
20, 15.
15,000 on this one.
But it was a Cajun life.
It's life. But it exploded on our personal pages. And I think it kind of messed up the algorithm up, because people were sharing and people
I mean,
commenting and people holding conversations under the picture.
So then it just essentially creates a virality in and of itself.
yes. I mean, it was unreal.
People, and the people just cross sharing and hashtagging, and people was doing videos with the can. People were showing they still do. They show the dishes that they cook, because you know, Zoe's the puzzle maker. I put it together.
and,
makes-
and
like
you know,
Zoe
pieces.
said,
He makes
well,
the
like,
pieces.
like I tell him, and if you know anything about music, I call what we doing right now freestyling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not where it's written, because I'm not going to say I'm not going to say I dislike structure, because I work in a structured environment. But just because you work in it don't mean you like it.
Right.
I've been doing this for a long time.
creativity
with
is
work.
free.
With this, I'm allowed to be creative, because I can paint. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
I can paint. I
yeah,
can
very
paint.
well.
I can draw. But I haven't done it in so long. Matter of fact, my wife just bought me some canvas and some sketch paper.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta want to do it. You can't make me do it. If you try to make me do it, I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
Not like, you know, and Troy know that. I can say it. I'm just like my mama.
We have our battles.
I'm just like her. You know, if you know, and it's a good thing to where it allows you to be creative.
And it's constantly creating, because he came up with the home chef.
Yes.
You know, we don't want to buy. We're not buying stock pictures.
No. Nope.
You
I'm
know?
not going to shutterstock.com and get a year's membership.
I want your
Right.
picture of what you eat.
And
I
that
want that
goes,
ugly picture. I want the pretty picture.
How about that pot?
Huh?
Yeah.
That seasoned pot.
Yeah, I want that old pot that just look like I don't want to cook in it. But
Yeah.
you going to cook in it.
and that builds that community. It builds that relatability to your consumers.
Yeah.
If you're looking at something and it's perfectly crisp, perfectly polished,
Yes.
well, then you're just trying to attract people to buy it.
Yes.
But if I'm showing you something that's relatable, I'm attracting you to the brand. I'm attracting you to me, who I am, what we do. That's why the show is conversational.
yes.
Yes.
Right on my iPad, it's the live stream. It's not questions of what I'm going to go through. You know, it's where the conversation's
Yes.
going to go.
Where it's going to flow.
And that is because when people listen to it, they feel like they're part of the conversation.
Yes.
They feel like they're sitting in the room and they are listening in on the story and what's happening, what's being created. And what y'all are doing is just that within your own brand, showcasing people's foods. Because everybody loves to have what they post get up somewhere. They like to show it to people and talk about
But
it.
the biggest thing is that, like I say, Zoe and I pitch and catch. Like
Yeah.
Zoe will go out there and get the sales, and Zoe will go out there and find the people to make the products. You know, and we make sure they're good products and they're low sodium. Everything is low sodium and fresh. And then him and I'll talk, and then I'll start creating the labels, and he didn't move on to something else.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll finish it up. No, but I like that though, because
I don't want to get in his way, and I don't want him in my way.
Yes.
I mean, that's just the way. That's just the way it
The
is.
stuff he does, I don't do it.
The stuff he does, I don't do it.
And it makes sense. Alonzo just commented and said, "Congratulations, I love you guys."
That's Hawk. That's my
Hawk.
brother. I love him.
That's the middle brother.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm one of 3 boys. Well, I'm technically one of 5 kids, youngest of 3 boys.
Yeah.
So
And we use my middle brother because a lot of people don't see my middle brother,
Yeah.
but we use Hawk as the advisor.
Yeah. He's on the board. He's on the board of advisors.
But believe it or not, Alonzo has more. He's been more in the community. Like when we left Glencoe after high school, we moved to New Orleans. We moved, and when, fast forward, we moved back. Troy moved back from Florida. I moved back from Baltimore. Alonzo moved back from Dallas. Alonzo moved back to the community. You know, so he got to reconnect with a lot of the people. And Alonzo he's very in the community, and that's
he a
why
good cook.
When you and then then he a cook. Oh, he can cook, boy. So when we go back and he, I guess you would say, bless it. You know, oh yeah, man, we can do something with
So I'll text him and ask him certain things just to get some validity of it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because I do it. You know, I do respect his. You know, his opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I do respect his opinion because I got to have somebody to to bounce off too.
And we all need somebody to
You know,
bounce off of.
and to get his input because we all grew up together. So I know with Hawk, he don't care if you're gonna like it or not.
Because me and Lonzo,
He
we
gonna tell it
11
to
months
you.
apart, and Lonzo
Hey.
and Troy and Lonzo a year apart. So we real,
Y'all close.
yeah. And but it's been a good journey, and we're gonna we every day is something new that's coming up, and just for the people out there that's listening, I'm gonna tell you this: what you post, people watching. And I'm gonna give this short one. I'm not gonna say no names.
We appreciate it.
I'm not gonna say any name. I'm talking about like this for business.
Yes.
I was working with some buyers, right? From a reputable grocery store, and I've been dealing with them for a while. Kept just giving, like, okay, all right, okay, we gonna get to y'all. Da, 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 da. Then on LinkedIn, the president and the CEO of that company sent me a message. He said, "Have you talked to our buyers?" And I'm like, "Oh." I said to myself, "Yeah, I've been talking to them, but hey." So I was, I ended up. He gave me his email address. So the next day I sent him an email and I copied these guys in. And then that following morning, those buyers called us. And it's like, hey, matter of fact, when it was Thursday or Friday, we put the final paperwork in with the insurance and all that type of stuff. So it won't be long, we'll be in that store. And it wasn't because this gentleman here saw what we were posting, liked what we were posting, and reached out to us.
Yeah.
Because we're creating our own market basically, and the village is our base.
Right.
And COVID prevented us from doing more of the community things that we wanted to do. But the village continued to carry us through COVID because we talked about it in the mid-December. Mid-February, we went hot.
Yep.
Because we have been doing this so long, I knew
we
how to get the designs done. I know what the apparel, I know the people to talk to. I had a good idea about the branding of the lifestyle. And like I say, Zoe do his thing of dealing with the stores, the manufacturers, the production. And when we came out in February, we've been hot since February.
I mean, what was amazing, we got an email from a gentleman, and I thought it was BS. This is such and such from corner street grocer in Brooklyn, New York. I said, yeah.
That's a long ways away.
I said, man, I saw that red can. I need 6 cases. And he was shut down. And this gentleman has five stores, but 2 of them are grocery stores. LaGuardia, 2 in Brooklyn, I forget what the others are. He said, man, I saw it, I tasted it, I love it. I'm like, man, what's going on? You know? I mean, it
right.
was, and then we had our friends from college, boom, just ordering.
Yeah,
and we got people from, and from all over. And I guess that one of the things we want to say is like, we look at this, and we'll look at each other like, man, I don't believe. I don't understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. But one of the things we look at this, and I guess you can see that you got your umbrella, you got your Cajun Nation umbrella. Under that, you're gonna have, you have your Cajun Heat, you have your Cajun Coast, and the other one to be determined. Mm-hmm. But we already know what it is.
Oh, I know.
So when the can started getting its popularity, so it was like, go get the red can. That's all he told me was go get the red can, and he made his point. And then
that's it.
Then I took it and started focusing everything on the red can.
I love it.
Yep. And then that's when the brand came out, because I kept telling them, not the can, it's the brain.
That's it. And I
not
think
the can, it's the brain.
It's exactly. It's all about building the brand, building the name, and building it to where people want to see it. And y'all using people's own photos sent in stills in grocery stores that people are using it. Using stock footage is like, oh, well, somebody, you hired somebody to come take these pictures. People are sending in you products and different recipes they're doing. The grocery stores and the supermarkets, they say, oh, people are buying this stuff already and using it. We need to get it on our shelves. So to transition kind of in towards the end of the show, because I feel like we could just talk for hours,
yeah.
But at some point I have to drive back to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So what are 3 lessons? I mean, y'all have done so much within 16 years. Y'all have opened different businesses, kept businesses, closed businesses. You all know branding, trademarking. I mean, there's just a plethora of knowledge between the two of you. What are 3 lessons you would give to entrepreneurs or people maybe at their current job and don't know how they can do both? What are some lessons y'all have gathered along the way?
For me, I would tell them, number 1, protection. Protect your idea. Number 2, patience. Let it develop, because it's going to develop itself. Don't push it to develop into something. Let it develop into itself. Number 3, don't worry what anybody tell you.
Yep.
Because what may be their failure may not be your failure. Well, I don't think that's going to work. Well, it might not have worked for you, but it's a different game.
I want to
over
throw this one here. I had a friend of mine say, man, I love your season, but ain't got enough salt. Man, that's the whole thing. I threw that in there.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
You're always going to have somebody that's going to say you could have done it this way, you could have done it that way. And like you said, it's not about that. No. It's about what I've got in my head. It's about my brand, and Troy put it perfectly.
Yes, that's it.
And that's those 3 phases. And with marketing, the 3 things, we'll close with the 3 things that I was saying with marketing, okay? A good product.
Don't shortcut. A good product. Number 2.
Good product. Number 2. Get eye to eye with your customer.
Go out there.
A relationship with your customer. Number 3. let your customer be your spokesman.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. I would say that because I can tell you, and this is one of my last things. That's a city. I kept telling somebody that works for me at my regular job. I say, man, what's up, man? I can't get in your city. So I went there and I got an account, right? Every other week, man, bring me one case. Man, bring me one case. Man, so, okay, whatever, you know. I was off a day last week.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to check this shelf. Man, how many cases you got? He said, I got 7. He said, I want them all. I said, what's going on? Them ladies coming in here asking for the red can. That's all I needed to hear.
We're going to close with this. People don't know it. They know it's Cajun Nation, but it's known as the Red Cane. And that's when you know you're embarking on something special.
Yep.
Where they don't have to call its name, but call it by its nickname.
Yep.
The red can.
So all I can tell y'all, go get the Red Can.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
I love that. I love that. But I do want to ask y'all 2 more questions.
Yes.
What is something you love about Louisiana? One thing you love about Louisiana.
Everything. Ain't nothing short about Louisiana.
Sound like Jericho.
I love everything about Louisiana.
If
You
that's
know, I wouldn't live nowhere else.
one thing I like, one thing I love about it, especially the way I live. I mean, it's like I like the friendliness, the I can talk all day. I mean, I can just
You know
go with people and I live in, I guess you'll call it Cajun Crew.
Cajun Crew.
And I've been here since 2001, and I love it. I can go to the corner store. Zoe, what's up, Zoe? And
We can drive from here to Morgan City
Yeah.
and stop in every town and know somebody.
That's
and go
incredible.
visit.
Yes, that's what I love
From
about
here, and they want to feed you.
Yep.
And every time they see you,
Yep.
you know, it's like a reunion.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Boy, I
that's
ain't saw you in so long.
Yeah.
Baby, where you been?
absolutely.
Yep.
I could be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years.
And if you know where we grew up, Glencoe, there's a sidewalk there. There's a sidewalk through the whole Glencoe. So we crossed the road. We crossed the road from my mama's house and stopped at my great aunt house. And it goes to the end of Glencoe. So we can walk that sidewalk. The same sidewalk we used to walk to elementary school. And it's maybe a 20-minute, 15-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
But by us going, it might take us 3 hours.
Just because everybody's coming out, stopping and talking.
Cousin Aunt Yoon, cousin Clarence, Jacko. Yeah. One I'm gonna leave you with this. One known great history fact of Glencoe, Louisiana. It's the home of Clyde the Glide Drexler. For the ones y'all don't know, the NBA superstar. Yep. That's
Love
where
it.
he grew up at, Glencoe.
Love it. For the final question for y'all, what can I do to help?
Whoo, man. What you doing now?
Keep coming back.
What you doing now is as we grow, when you can see a growth, not us getting a few more stores. When we at this point where we in this chain or almost in this chain, it's like, well, we can do this again. Okay, remember this last episode? This is where we at now.
Yes.
And what I love about you with this podcast is that you give people that's coming up an opportunity to voice their brand to the world. And for us, that's invaluable because as we grow, if you call us, we will do an interview with you
Yep.
because now we have relation.
Or just letting people know that we know
We-
that's coming up.
Right.
You know, that need the
Contact.
same type of exposure. You know, and I think that's one of the things that's missing out there, and I think you feel that void. You know, I really do.
Yes, this
Because,
does fill the void.
We wouldn't have been doing this. Not saying, you know, maybe I don't know, but one thing I like about this right now, you see Zoe. This is Zoe. This not
Yep.
no robot. I'm sitting here with my legs crossed, checking my phone, drinking my Blue Moon, which is what I do when I get off of work. Once I take a shower or anything to relax.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm not doing is cooking.
That's for round 2, right?
Yeah, that's for round 2. I'm gonna do something. Round 2, I'm gonna bring it to you.
I love it. Gosh, I love it. And that's the beauty of the show, is there can be round 2, round 3, round 4, checking back in on people to see how they are, see where they've been, see where they're going. And then the whole conversation is, what was it like since last time we spoke?
Yes.
What have y'all done? What roadblocks have you hit? What milestones have you achieved?
Yes.
And going on with that route. And that's why I got no intentions of stopping the show, because I love it so much.
No,
I love doing what
man.
I'm doing. So I want
to do it. Don't do it.
Thank y'all.
This the future. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
This is
In somebody's home.
This is the future.
And
Right here.
giving that comfort and just that openness, and just allowing not your audience, the people
To be
that you
ourselves while
to be
we're
ourselves.
interviewing.
Yes, you got to be comfortable.
Yeah. And where else you gonna be comfortable?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sitting in my home. I'm sitting in my chair.
Now, next time you come to my house, we can be on the patio in the backyard. And
We'll be grilling and cooking.
yeah.
Because we thinking about, I want to build something for him. The Cajun Nation
It's gonna be
kitchen
an outdoor thing.
where
Okay, cooking spot.
local home chefs can
Bring
come
some of my buddies who
and
think
cook
they can
with
cook.
it. And while
Come
we
on
film,
through, and I can invite them over and
Oh yeah, we can live stream it. We can
It's
video.
coming.
We can photo. Oh
It's
yeah,
coming.
that's I love the
we
production
put it,
side
we put
of
it
all
off a little bit because we're doing some other things.
Because there's so much happening right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, gosh. Well, thank y'all.
well,
Troy
we
and
appreciate
Zoe
you for coming
on.
out here and
Thank you, man.
giving us the opportunity to share the world, let the world see our brand.
That's it.
Absolutely. Get the red can, right?
Go get
the red can.
GEAUX.
The red can.
Get the red can.
I love it. Well, y'all that are tuning in, whether it be through Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever platform you're listening to us or watching us on, thank y'all so very much for tuning in. Go check out Cajun Nation Seasoning Co. Get the red can. Check them out, whatever store you're in. And if they're not in the stores, talk to the managers and ask them why not. And then give them their contact information and say, reach out to them and get the red can in the store. Yeah. So, y'all, thank y'all so much. I am Patty G, the host of the Patty G Show, coming to y'all with Cajun Nation Seasoning Company. Y'all have a good one. Thanks.
Good night.